go to the definitions. What is adjuvant or salvage radiotherapy? This question is to Dr. Maybe Kinjal or Priyambada. Define anyone, any of you?
Yeah, I'll take it. Kaustav, thanks.
Yeah.
No, whenever you talk about adjuvant radiotherapy for any primary sites, we look at the high risk factors.
Kinjal will be very crisp because I have the time allotted to us is only 20 minutes. So just
yes. So you give adjuvant radiotherapy to high risk factors, and you usually give it like when you talk about prostate, we usually give a adjuvant radiotherapy within like 4 to 6 months, maybe up to 1 year. That is an adjuvant radiotherapy. And a salvage radiotherapy is a situation where patient has already had a biochemical failure, and then you are giving a radiotherapy. That is called a salvage radiotherapy. So that is
Priyambada, can you talk about early salvage? Is there a concept of early salvage radiotherapy?
Yes, Dr. Kaustav. So the concept of early salvage came from two papers, one from Stephenson et al. And one from Tendulkar et al., where they showed that earlier the radiotherapy is done, that is lower the PSA at the time of radiotherapy, the better is the outcome and the biochemical control. So the early salvage is generally considered at a pre-RT PSA level of less than 0.4.
Great. Okay. So when we talk about decision making, so maybe Dr. Deepak can run us through this slide. Dr. Deepak, are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Yeah. So do you agree with this slide? Do you think this is a crisp slide? When you do not have a risk factor, you follow it up. If you have persistent detectable PSA, you do adjuvant radiotherapy plus minus salvage ADT. And if you have an undetectable PSA but high risk feature, you do adjuvant radiotherapy. Do you agree with that, Dr. Deepak?
Exactly. It's very aptly put in this slide that when adverse features, pathological features are adverse, like positive surgical margins or extra prostatic extension and seminal vesicle invasion, these are the feature when adjuvant RT can be done. But within a few more slides, I think you will come on to the comparing it with salvage also. But right now, this slide is very aptly put in.
Right. So this is the Astro AUA guidelines, and this is talking about the high risk features in the adjuvant radiotherapy. So Dr. Haresh, some light on the high risk features on adjuvant radiotherapy. What would you consider as high risk features?
The high risk features basically include margin positive disease, T3A or T3B disease, or lymph node positive disease. These are all high risk features when we consider for adjuvant radiation. But there is an issue of whether to consider for adjuvant versus salvage. But whenever there is a grossly multiple margin positives, that will be the main indication for me to go ahead with adjuvant rather than salvage. Or else I will consider for a...
Right. So Dr. Haresh has correctly enlisted the adjuvant radiotherapy features, positive surgical margins, PT, that's a PT3, that is vesicle invasion. So much so about the ideal candidate for adjuvant radiotherapy. The other features which we need to keep on mind is reasonably good recovery of continence, longer life expectancy, and patients who understand potential pros and cons of the therapy. So, is there adequate evidence that adjuvant radiotherapy enhances or improves outcome as compared to observation? So, Dr. Sridhar, maybe you can move on to Dr. P.H. Sridhar. Sridhar, can you throw some light on this?
Yeah, see, there is evidence about that, like progression-free survival can be progressed. If you look at the overall survival, actually there is no much difference in terms of like addition of the adjuvant radiation is going to be make any difference. So one step backward, like it's the overall what you're looking in a low risk is a monotherapy is the one what we needed to look into for a patient perspective. Anytime if any of these features come into the picture, I feel there's a failure on the part of ourselves or the biology of the early assessment was become inadequate. So in these sequences, you're actually making up a patch of work in where the patient is in a receiving end. Yes, in adjuvant settings where there's a node positive or in a margins positive disease, there is no comparison that, okay, actually probably we didn't pick up these early cases, these advanced cases, I put it as an early case and we operated it. And we are actually making a patch of work for treating these cases to compensate for the whatever the things which has happened.
So that is a
even
very
in this-
valid point. Sorry. Yeah. So that's a very valid point. Advanced cases, that is T3As and T3Bs being operated, because they may be going to the surgical departments first, and then they land up with us with high-risk features. And as Dr. Sridhar has very rightly pointed out, that we need to identify those high-risk features. Dr. Arpana Shukla, Dr. Arpana is there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Dr. Arpana, we have had very large 3 randomized control trials, the RTOG, the URTC, the ARO, and
Yeah.
you know, most of them have had good outcomes in terms of biochemical progression-free survival. The SWOG RTOG trial also had an improvement in overall survival. So based on this results, would you offer adjuvant radiotherapy to all patients with high-risk features, or only a select group of patients with high-risk features? I'm not talking about all patients. I'm saying, would you offer adjuvant radiotherapy to all patients with high-risk features?
Yeah, it's a very important question, and decision making, it depends on mostly the risk grade grouping of the patient and the number of risk factors. So if there is a PT3 patient with undetectable PSA post-op margins negative, and the PSA is undetectable, it is T3A, we can even margin is focally positive, then this may be a candidate we can prefer for observation and salvage radiotherapy SOS. But if there are multiple margins positive, higher grade grouping, and most important thing is Gleason grade at the positive margins, and baseline PSA is more, then we can upfront consider for the adjuvant radiotherapy. So case selection is the key. And even that salvage radiotherapy is option for high risk patient if they are very, very compliant and they do the regular PSA and the close follow up. Because the reason being that it is not in any randomized trial that adjuvant radiotherapy is not improve the overall survival. So
yes.
at least 50% of the patient we can prevent the over treatment. But at the same time, we have to see the risk stratification. Like post-op also, it needs again a risk stratification to keep the patient for adjuvant versus salvage. Number of risk factors. So a majority up to half, 50% we can keep for salvage, and some we have to give adjuvant, like I have already discussed. So I think I'm clear. Higher grade grouping and
Is the Kaustubh there? I think we.
Yeah. Hello.
I think we lost a connection.
Yeah, we lost Kaustubh.
Okay, because now I think I
Yeah.
have a. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. See, that's whenever we are, the moment if this stratification is done, like if you see even in the post-op setting, that we know either adjuvant versus like the salvage, overall survival is definitely not improved, either you early versus late. But actually, biochemical failure, biochemical recurrence is definitely the duration is increased. So there is definitely a subset of patients requires a adjuvant or a salvage treatment. But yes, it is not able to change the overall survival.
Sridhar Kaustubh here.
There are patient
Yeah,
related
Kaustubh.
factor
Take
also.
over.
Yeah,
like-
sorry, I
Take
lost
over.
my connection.
Yeah, take
So
over.
I have
Yeah.
connected through my phone, I think. So that's okay. That does not matter. We'll continue
over.
the discussion.
Yeah.
Right. So Priyambada, quickly one word about the quality of life
So
in patients who have received adjuvant radiotherapy.
quality of life is also a very important factor after the tumor factors, as Dr. Shukla and Dr. Sridhar mentioned. The next important thing is in patient selection is the patient factor. And one of the main things we consider while taking up a patient for adjuvant RT is urinary incontinence. So if the patient is having a good post surgery bladder function, then he is a better candidate to be taken up for post-op RT. Whereas those patients who have a lot of incontinence issues, it may be better to wait if the high-risk features are not that many. Having said that, the evidence did show that largely it was well tolerated. However, the patients who got adjuvant RT versus the wait and watch approach did have somewhat lower quality of life.
Right. So one quick word from Dr. Harish, Dr. Kinjal, and Dr. Gautam. Would you like to spare adjuvant RT in one subset of patient, and which will be your subset of patient?
Yeah, in a case of a T3A disease, which is focally or margin positive, in those cases, or T3B disease also. I mean, if the PSA is less than 0.2, I would generally would like to defer the RT for a salvage setting rather than adjuvant setting. Even though
right. Kinjal, any comment from you? Will you look at the PSA velocity? Will you look at the time to PSA failure?
Kinjal has some invitation somewhere else, so he has left.
Dr. Gautam, would you look at other factors like PSA
Yes,
velocity,
sir.
time to PSA failure?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so those are also very
if the
important
doubling time
factors.
is
Yeah,
if
sorry,
the PSA
Dr.
doubling
Gautam,
time is yes, so if the PSA doubling time is less than 3 months, so we have to give salvage radiotherapy to the patient, sir.
Right. That's a very good point, Dr. Deepak. Any other feature? Any other point where you
Dr. Kaustav,
not give adjuvant and wait for salvage?
I just want to put in one word about the trials you were telling about the SWOG EORTC, and because there's an important point that these studies were actually flawed studies. You had already shown in the slide that is there adequate evidence that adjuvant radiotherapy improves outcome as compared to observation, and these 3 trials were regarding observation and not they compare adjuvant radiotherapy was not compared with early salvage. So according to me,
so we will come to those studies. We will be coming to those studies. Right. So these are very important AstraEO guidelines regarding salvage radiotherapy. So, I think we should all go through, for the students' benefit, we should all go through these guidelines. There are 7 points. They have been talking about salvage radiotherapy. Some of them are clinical principles. Some of them are grade 3, grade C evidence. Some of them are grade 1, level A evidence. And I think all students should be going through them. I think the slides can move on if someone is here. Yeah. Can you just move the slides? The organizers, yeah. Just move the slides. Keep moving. Yes. More. Yes. Keep moving. Yeah. That's one slide earlier.
Yeah,
One slide earlier. Yeah, right. So we have very less time. It has been cut short to 20 minutes and the technical age. So there is some retrospective data supporting salvage radiotherapy. How early is early in salvage? So how early is early, Sridhar, in salvage? How early should we start salvage?
See, actually, the PSA doubling time. See, the moment the PSA velocity, like what you are talking about, 2 consecutive raise in the PSA PET scan. See, usually in my practice, any post-operative treatment, post-operative cases where there is a doubtful, we always get a PET PSMA as one of the things. Up to anything more than 2, you will definitely see a lesion. So if the margin is positive, and if the node positive, definitely we are going to give the like including the hormones and the radiation. If there is a T3A, no, I don't. I prefer to wait. I prefer to give a post salvage treatment rather than an early adjuvant. because I believe in one single modality should be good enough to take care. In a PSMA PET scan, if you see a lesion which is present in any focal lesion, go and treat only that area. I don't want to give it to any other areas in these settings and wait and watch if you identify a lesion. So in salvage,
The only issue will
post-operative,
be sometime early salvage will not, I mean, early recurrences when your PSA is less than 0.2. Can you hear me? Yeah, it will not be picked up on the PSMA PET.
Correct. If in those cases, if monotherapy, the next adjuvant treatment as a salvage radiotherapy alone versus addition of ADT is the one what makes a difference. I prefer to, in these cases, when I discuss with the patients, if they are more panic of addition of the ADT, I prefer to have early salvage in these cases rather than adding the ADT along with the salvage treatment.
Right. So, Dr. Aparna, do you think it's a team effort?
Yeah. Every case should be discussed with the multidisciplinary team, radiation oncologist, urologist, and patient should be a part of decision making because quality of life issues and compliance are there with the patient. So it's a team decision.
Dr. Haresh? Dr. Haresh, are you there? Dr. Haresh?
Hello, yes.
Yeah. So Dr. Haresh, do you think the point that we have written that androgen deprivation therapy before surgery will make early salvage impossible, and we should vehemently, aggressively lobby for that the usage of androgen deprivation therapy before surgery, reckless usage should be stopped.
That should be stopped.
Of course.
That should be stopped. That
Totally stop.
will affect with the proper staging and further treatment. That should not be.
No, it's a blanket treatment. Making a low risk.
I know, I understand
everything.
that, but I think we also need to educate our counterparts. Priyamvada, do you think 0.2 is a right cutoff?
0.2 is a better cutoff now, given the recent trials of Radicals-RT, RAVES, and the GetUp trial, which used Radicals actually used a cutoff of 0.1. So while we rarely see patients with 0.1 practically in our OPD,
Right. So basically, the idea is to start as early as possible and do not delay it very long. Then you have the fun is lost and it's no more early salvage then, right? And last question here is, can ADT be added to salvage radiotherapy? Anyone can take that. There is enough evidence coming up. Should androgen deprivation therapy be added to salvage radiotherapy?
Yes, it can be.
Yes.
In certain high risk cases with node positivity, grouping 4 or 5, say rise is more, then it can be coupled with salvage, be given at least for 18 months to 24 months.
Dr. Gautam, any last comment from you?
Yeah. I will also go along with this thing that ADT should be added and for at least 2 years.
Dr. Deepak, any last comment?
I think 2 years is the right time period for this, and ADT should be added.
Dr. Aparna, any last comment?
Yeah, so ADT, it is requires a judicious use because it is also its side effects. But if the patient falls into high risk category, then we should add it. And in certain high risk cases, the evidence say we can add albuterol and prednisolone along with hormonal therapy in adjuvant setting also. So
Dr.
it's all
Priyamvada,
about
one
the
quick
risk
comment.
stratification.
Priyamvada, last quick comment.
All about the risk stratification.
I would just like to say that practically in our OPDs, we use something called as Capra S4.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying that in our OPD, we use something called an Capra S4. This is a score which accounts for all the high-risk factors, including Gleason's. It is a combination of 6 factors. And if the patient scores 8 to 12, which is the highest risk, then we do adjuvant radiotherapy along with long course ADT. Whereas if the patient scores somewhere in the middle, then a shorter course of ADT along with either a salvage or an adjuvant in discussion with the patient is more appropriate.
Right. So last two comments from Dr. Harish and Dr. Sridhar,
Yeah.
and we'll conclude then.
Previously, we were not using the ADT with adjuvant or salvage settings, but with the results of the detect trial and the spot trial, more and more evidence is coming up to add ADT at least for 6 months with the adjuvant or salvage settings.
Right. Sridhar?
Yeah. So in a salvage setting, if there is anywhere in a recurrent setting or the Gleason score has more than 8, yes, the salvage adjuvant ADT can be added for like short course. But whenever there is a node positive, and that is a whole different story, 18 months, it becomes an higher stage. And if it is only biochemical recurrence and you are adding an addition to the salvage treatment, I prefer to wait for at least for 6 months to take a decision.
Okay.
I do.
Deepak? Dr. Deepak?
Yeah, actually I had lost the connection.
No issue.
Hello?
Hello.
Hanji, Dr. Kostav?
Yeah, Dr. Deepak, you are there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So do you finally believe, in conclusion, that we can spare some patients of radiation, at least 50 to 60% of them, if we take a good strategy of early salvage and not jump into adjuvant for all the patients with high risk features?
Exactly, as you clearly shown in your presentation, that high risk features with adverse pathological features, we should go for adjuvant. Otherwise, we should take over patients for early salvage.
Great. So I think we have had a nice panel discussion. The take-home points have been there. Radiation is important. We have to identify high-risk features. It cannot just be observation. Adjuvant therapy is important, and out of that adjuvant therapy, we need to pick out one set of patients who would not require radiation, and that is where the data is emerging. That, as Dr. Aparna had said, can happen with great case selection. So we should be very judicious about case selection. With hormone therapy, with salvage hormone therapy, the evidence is generating. Some say 6 months, some say 2 years, and we'll have clearer answers. But definitely hormone therapy helps, and we'll have clearer answers maybe in the next 3 to 4 years. But early salvage it is showing us the light of the day, and I think it is it's going to stay here with us, and that is what we are going to base our practice on. I thank the organizers. I thank all panelists for this wonderful panel discussion.